Hi, it's Paula here. Welcome to the Transformational Parenting Program. I am so excited that you have joined me on this amazing, incredible journey of transformation that leads to you becoming the parent that you have always wanted to be, and you providing your children all the tools that are necessary for them to be happy, for them to be successful adults, amazing citizens of this world who contribute to it with their love, with their compassion, and with their kindness. I've talked to many of you, and I know that that's in your heart what you want, and that is why you have chosen to participate in this program. So in this video, I want to cover the basics of the program so you know what to expect, and to talk a little bit about the principles of the program, or the big why of why transformational parenting and why not something else. So to begin with, if you don't know too much about me yet, I am originally from Finland. I have been in the field of working with families and children for over 20 years. Besides being a parent coach, I am also a licensed mental health professional. I have a license as a clinical social worker and a thriving practice here in San Diego, California, where I have 4 staff working with me and transforming and healing the lives of a lot of parents. I also love to do online parenting shows, and recently hosted a vastly successful show called Becoming a Peaceful Parent. Empower yourself to be patient, present, and loving with your kids. And I had the absolute honor and privilege to work with parenting experts such as Dr. Danielle Siegel, Dr. Rick Hansen, Dr. Laura Markham, who has developed the peaceful parenting approach and has a great website that you all should, by the way, check out, called Aha Parenting. So I'm really have dedicated my life working with children and working with parents as well, because I believe that this generational cycle of parenting that is often fear-based, that is based on some archaic ideas and assumptions how parenting should be, which is not aligned with the latest neuroscience and developmental neuroscience and what we know about the needs of children. So I've done all the research, I've read all the books, I've had the experience as I work with hundreds of parents, hundreds of children for the past 20 years, and I am here to give it all to you, from my heart to your heart. I am here to pour everything that I know into you because I am so passionate about this work. So the framework of this program is transformational parenting. And the transformation is not only going to happen in your parenting, but in your entire being. You will notice that not only the relationships with your children change, but your relationships with your partner, your friends, and family magically transforms. And it might feel like, whoa, what happened? The world changed suddenly. But no, the world didn't change, but you changed. So we are going to generate a paradigm shift for you. And that's what this program is about. That's why it's so intense, and that's why it's 6 months, because we know from brain science that in order to kind of get rid of these old patterns of being triggered and reactivity, the power struggles, the yelling, the nagging with the teenagers, it takes some time to actually wire the brain in a different way. So we are up for a deep level change in this paradigm shift. And let me tell you a little bit about what paradigm is. So paradigm is the way we view the world. So it's kind of like gives us this roadmap about assumptions in this world and the way things function according to our beliefs, our paradigm. So everything that we do, all our relationships, all our behaviors, our reactions, they come from a certain paradigm that we have learned along the way. So in some ways, unless we become conscious of what our paradigm is, we keep acting from this paradigm, whether we are aware of it or not. That's the driving force. So one part of this program is to become aware of what your paradigm is. Because what I've noticed is happening is many parents are so frustrated. Believe me, I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning reading emails from you about how frustrating you are, that you've tried everything that you could, you've read all the parenting books, and you did A, B, and C, and you followed it all, and nothing has changed. Here's why. You have a wrong map. That's why you're still lost. So think about it this way. If I want to go to a certain place in, let's say, Paris, I want to go to the Eiffel Tower in Paris. That's my destination. That's my goal. That's my vision. Like that's your vision as a parent for yourself and for your kids. So I need a map. Obviously, I don't know Paris, so I need a map of Paris to be able to get there. So, but what if I have a map of London instead? So that's my paradigm. So the map is an analogy for the paradigm. So if I have a paradigm map of London, but I try to get to Paris, I'm not going to get there. That's why parents are so frustrated, because their paradigm doesn't fit where they want to go. So I can do anything that I can in my power as a parent. I can change my attitudes. I can read all the parenting books. I can start implementing all these tools and strategies and everything that you can find under the sky, and nothing will change because you're looking at the map of London when you want to get to Paris, when you want to get to Eiffel Tower. So we get to be aligned with what the paradigm is and to become aware of it. So this program is about shifting your paradigm, because the likelihood is, as it is with 90% of parenting, is still operating from a paradigm that is fear-based. The underlying, whether you want to admit or not, the underlying principle of parenting is instilling some kind of fear in children. And this fear happens through rewards and consequences, lots of control, and these assumptions that, your child should love you just because you are their parent. They should listen to me. They should do this. They should do that. Why don't they do that? Lots of frustrations build up because your paradigm tells you and makes you assume that these things are true. They are not true. That's why we get to change the paradigm, the map, so that you can have a map of Paris and get to the goal, get to the Eiffel Tower, get to the vision, become the parent that you want to be, so that your children can grow up into the human beings that you really desire them to grow up. The very reason why you wanted to become a parent is to bring this beautiful being, creative, intelligent, smart, with their own unique talents, so that they can make this world somehow a better place and influence it in positive ways. So this program is really about creating that huge change in your parenting paradigm, so that it will transition from fear-based to love and attachment-based parenting that is heart-centered. And I'll talk in a little bit why that's important. I just want to take a look at my notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So the bottom line in this map analogy, in this paradigm conversation, is that we see the world not as it is, but the way we are. What I mean by that, and you will hear me talk about this a lot when I ask you, how do you show up for your children? What's your ways of being? What are the ways of being required of you to create peace, calm, and harmony in your home? So when we are coming from a place of blaming the children, oh my God, there they go again. I know exactly how the situation is going to happen. You know, my son is going to have a fit again when I ask for A, B, and C. Guess what's going to happen? Exactly what you said is going to happen. So the change begins from you. So we see the world not as it actually is, but the way we are. So simple example. I like to use the going to a party as a simple example. You know, if we are going to a party and we go in there with an attitude of like, oh my gosh, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be boring. Nothing's, you know, it's just going to be a lot of gossip and nothing exciting is going to happen. That's what your experience will be, because that is your way of being. You know, the party is boring because I'm boring. So if we want a fun, enjoyable, connected party, then we get to be those ways. We can't expect the outside world ever to give us, in a sense, what we need. We create that. So then you can create your own experience in the party. You can create your own experience in your parenting, in your partnership, in all your relationships, and then in your life. Do you see the potential in that? That you can, at any point starting today, begin to live a life worth living, an unimaginable life, and you can do that. And this is what this program is about. And you've landed here with me to create that. I will help you in that journey to create whatever it is that you want in your parenting. So it all starts with the paradigm. Because, and this is a quote from Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I'm into leadership. I study it, I live it, I breathe it, and I'm giving it to you. He says, our paradigms, correct or incorrect, are the sources of our attitudes and behaviors. And ultimately, the way our relationships are with other people. That's how powerful these paradigms are. And that's why we get to shift them, because they are the sources of our attitudes, behaviors, and relationships with other people. So this is why this program is not just about giving you the tools and the skills and the strategies, because unless you have the right map, you will still be lost. You're not going to get to the Eiffel Tower looking for it in London. It just doesn't make any sense. So the program is about, instead of hacking at the leaves, hacking at the roots of the problem. Hacking at the roots, so we can cut down these old trees of limiting beliefs and limiting assumptions that you have about yourself that's coming in the way of you being the parent that you want to be. So we are not going to just like nibble at the leaves with a little bit. No, we need to cut this tree down so that another beautiful paradigm, another beautiful transformation can happen to you. So this is the level of work that we are up to. So it gives you the accurate map so that you can create what you want in your life. So that now in that accurate map, now the tools work, now the strategies work, now the information works, because you are coming at it from a totally different perspective. So not only does the program build your parenting skills and give you everything that you need to be successful, but it also builds your character. It aligns your character and who you are with your own values, because your values are related to your vision. So then, if our values are related to our vision and our actions are aligned with our values, let's say my value is honesty. I keep my word, integrity. I tell my child something, we're going to go to the park at 5 o'clock. We're going to go to the park at 5 o'clock no matter what, because that's the strength of your character. And this is one characteristics of leadership. A leader. You will become these influential parent leaders who can show your child how to live a fulfilling life and how you will have a fulfilling life as well. So the new paradigm is based on love, it's based on connection, it's based on presence, it's based on patience, it's based on compassionate understanding, generosity versus fear. So that is the road that we are heading. Here I will make a bridge between transformational leadership and developmental neuroscience and what we know about children. If you've heard any parenting experts speak, hopefully most of them will be talking about attachment and how important that is. Attachment basically means connection that you have with your child. So after years and years and years of research into like, okay, what do kids need? What do they need? How do we set them for success? The number one factor is for the child to have at least one person that they have a secure attachment with, which means that they feel seen and heard by this person. They feel unconditionally loved by this person. And they feel that they are in this safe, secure base where they can be who they are. Number one thing is this, and they only needs only one person in that child's life. That's what it takes. And I hope it gets to be you. I hope it gets to be you. So this is what I'll be building with you, because I have a list here that I want to give as a result of this secure attachment. This is what your child will get. Higher self-esteem. They believe in themselves, so they can go out into the world and make the dreams come true. Better emotional regulation. No more meltdowns. Meltdowns are just feedback for us adults that something is not right. The child's needs are not met in some ways. Greater academic success. Kids who have secure attachment do well in school. They have internal motivation. They don't have to be pushed. Better coping with stress. It builds resiliency. There are stressors in life, and that's just inherent part of life. So it protects them from stress and helps them cope with it. Positive engagement with peers in all different stages, in preschool, in middle school, and especially in the adolescent years when adolescents are vulnerable to peer pressures and doing high-risk behaviors and engaging in high-risk behaviors. So if you build this foundation of secure attachment, it is less likely that those high-risk behaviors are going to happen. Happier and better relationships with parents. One of the things that I hear a lot is what parents want is this amazing relationship with their kids, so that when they're teenagers and when they go to college, that they actually want to spend time with you. The foundation for this is laid when the kids are young, so that then when they grow up to be young adults, that they really desire to spend time with you, and you don't have to like somehow try to bribe or force them to come visit. Now it's a time to build that base. Stronger leadership qualities, that your child can become a leader in this world. And oh boy, we do need more amazing, love-based, kind, compassionate leaders in this world right now. Increased sense of agency, which basically means like this yes I can attitude. It's grit, it's sense of mastery, like, you know, I can do things in this world and I can be independent and I can act independently. Super important. All this happens automatically for kids who have secure attachment. You don't have to do anything else. So why would you focus on anything else other than this? What else? More trusting relationships in adulthood that are healthy relationships. And that so your child is less likely to end up in abusive, negative relationships. They have more empathy. They have social competence and greater trust in life in general. Wow, that is some awesome qualities, right? We all want that for our kids. So this is what you are up to in creating in your child. And the work begins with you. In this program, we're going to focus very little on the child. I'll give you tools and techniques and things that are helpful. But the main focus is on transforming you and changing your paradigm from this fear-based, oftentimes it's been unconscious, oftentimes there's been just assumptions, well, that's the way things are. But things don't have to be that way. I mean, if we think back in time and we thought that the Earth is the center of the universe. And comes Copernicus, I think it was, comes and says, no, the sun is the center. And people didn't believe him, and he was put in jail, and all these things happened to him, but he was right. So you get to stand in that fire as well, because there will be fire from friends, family, teachers, and you get to stand in that fire, because the prices of you not changing and changing now are probably too high for you and the kids. So this is kind of like the foundation of the program, and the way all this information and everything is delivered. We have once a week group calls where the focus is on giving information. We usually work on, we start with the vision, and we're going to work on creating this vision. That's your roadmap. That's like where you want to go in life, in your parenting. And without that, we can't do any work. We are lost. We are scattered. We are not focused. We don't know what we are doing. So in these group calls, we will focus on training you, coaching you on these transformational leadership principles, so that you can develop into that influential parent leader. So I will give you coaching in those calls. It's very valuable also to hear from other parents and what they are struggling with. And it's a place to ask questions and get support, and also get some information about, just in general, about child development. And I cover all different ages. So transformational parenting doesn't just work in one age, it just works across the board for any age. So there's that group calls once a week. There are individual 45-minute coaching calls that you get to have 2 of those every month. And you really are responsible for setting those up. I will be sending a reminder email in the beginning of each month for you to go to my calendar and book those calls. And it's up to you to book them. I'm not going to ask you to do that. You are responsible for you to utilize this program to its fullest. So it's not my job to run after you and make sure that you book those calls. And it's 2 calls per month. So if in one month you miss 1 call, it doesn't mean that the next month it's going to be 3 calls. So it's 2 calls a month. 45 minutes, and this is where we individualize everything. This is where we go deep into your patterns, your limiting beliefs, your history. What's the baggage that you're bringing? What is this stuff that is coming in the way of you being really present with your kids? So instead of being present, getting triggered and fully understanding that. And that's the individualized part. So those calls are really, really important. Then there is also the Voxer, Voxer. It's an app, and all of you, if you don't have the information already, you will have that. It's a communication app where you can go and you can type messages. I've set us up as a group. You can type messages or record messages, and I call that pocket parenting, which means I'm literally in your pocket every single day. Officially, it's Monday through Friday. That's where I'm jumping in and out of there. This is not to be used for emergencies. It's just there for you to share what's going on, share your success, share your failures, because in this program we will fail, we will make mistakes, but we are failing forward versus failing backwards, which means guilt, shame, blame, poor me, victim attitude. There is no room for victim attitude here, because you will all become empowered parents and human beings. So in that Voxer app, you share what's going on. I will jump in to provide some feedback and coaching. And other parents are encouraged to jump in to coach as well. This is practice, you guys. As you coach each other, you get that experience of coaching so that you know how to coach your children as well. So that's why it's important to be super active in that Voxer group. Then there's also an exclusive Facebook group. This is just for you guys, just for people in the Transformational Parenting Program. And this is a place where I put in information about just child development in general, tools, skill building. I might go there and jump in and do a short yoga class for you guys, so you can do some self-care. I'm probably going to jump in there and do some self-compassion meditation and a lot of things, nurturing tools and things that you can take care of yourself. That's happening in the Facebook group. Now, there is no reading or manual per se for this program. The reason for that is that you get to trust yourself. The answers are actually not outside of you. You have them inside you all the time. And you get to trust yourself. You get to trust the program and the coaching, that is enough. Because I don't want you to be out there, getting stuck in the mechanics. That's the leaves. That's hacking at the leaves. We are hacking at the roots. So you get to do a lot of introspection, a lot of reflection. I recommend that you buy a journal which is your transformational parenting journal where you write everything, and that you have that journal ready every time you are in individual coaching, every time you are in group coaching, every time you watch a Facebook Live, and then that becomes this amazing, beautiful resource for you. So there is no manual. You are the manual. However, I will give you book recommendations. So I don't have any one particular book that everybody reads. I may or I may not. I'm gonna see how things go and what kind of parents we have in the group. But based on where I see a room for improvement, I might recommend a book for you to read. And that could be different for each parent. So one parent, I could be like, you know what? I think you would benefit from Playful Parenting book. And then for another parent, like, oh, you know what? I think the Parent Shift book would be great for you. Maybe for a third one, a parent with a teenager, you really should read The Brainstorm by Daniel Siegel, so that it's very individualized, so you don't start reading stuff that you don't even need. I don't want you to waste time. This is not about wasting time. So there will be book recommendations that are individualized for you based on my assessment of what you need and what's going to up-level your parenting. So to wrap up, what I ask of you is being in committed action, being in inquiry, being in self-reflection, asking questions when you have them, being connected, not lone wolfing it, meaning like trying to do it on your own. That hasn't worked. It doesn't work. So that you reach out for support in the Voxer group, in the Facebook. You are connected. This is your program. You get to make it look the way you want, and your success is completely up to you. I am asking you to be open to coaching. I will be very honest and frank with you. This is not therapy. This is not therapy where we, hash over things that happened 20 years ago, session after session. We are going to look at that very briefly. We're going to bridge that into the present so you can understand where your triggers are, and then we're going to shift and change that. That's how that's going to work. So I will offer loving interruptions. I might even cut you off and say, okay, we are in the story now. We are in the situation. We are in the surface level that has gotten you stuck to begin with. Let's go deeper. So I'm going to always take you to the deeper levels, into the ways of being, so that we can start digging up this stuff, this paradigm that has been there and obviously is not working. We can't get there if we just stay in the level of the story or the situation. So again, I don't want to waste your time. That's why we're going to go deep, and we're going to go there fast. And I'm going to stand side by side with you to support you in that, whatever it is that you discover. So I'll be open, honest. I'll give you loving interruptions. I'll give you all the tools. I'll hold your hand when it's needed, and I'll let go of it when it's needed. I'm going to hold you high where I envision yourself already in your fullest potential, in your absolute brilliant, loving, unconditionally caring parent that I know you can be. I'm going to hold you in that light all the time, so that when I can do that with you, you can also begin to see your child through that lens. Again, we are creating this reality. And guess what? Your child will live into that vision that you have for them. And I'm tearing up because it's so amazing, and it works. It works because I live it. So I feel it in the cellular level. And I hope you're hearing that too. how important it is to hold yourself and your child high. And I'm going to take a stand for your vision, even if you feel like giving up, even if you feel like you don't have the time or the energy or whatever it is. I'm going to be there to help you through your breakdowns so that you can have a breakthrough. Remember, we are failing forward, not backwards. We are failing forwards. And the more we fail, more failures you have, the faster you will grow. So sometimes we're going to take risks so that we can fail and grow from that. That's how that works. So that's the overview of the program. Please reach out. Feel free to reach out via email if you have any questions. I am so excited to have you on board on this absolutely exciting, incredible, not easy, but incredible journey of transformation. Thanks so much for listening. Bye now.